Good evening. We're going to start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Alan Knipe. Then we'll open it up to questions from the media for Coach as well as Mason Briggs. Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought it certainly wasn't the cleanest match or the prettiest match, I'm sure, but I think it was a really well played on the sense of from the side of just effort on both sides. I think, especially on our side, I know we were feeling it. And I thought the guys did a good job trying to push through. I mean, feeling it from, back-to-back nights, getting used to this, getting back into the swing of that big physical match on Friday night, big physical match on Saturday night. We know there's a ton of opportunities that were left on the table tonight in pretty much every area of the game. There was a lot of good that happened. It just wasn't a lot of good for a long enough periods tonight, and I think the guys, when we watch video, will realize how many opportunities that we had to convert points and to maybe be a little bit better in serve receive, because obviously the plan from Penn State is just our offense has been so good that they're just going to rip their serves, and they did a good job at that. I thought at times we passed the ball really well, and at times we gave up some points on some serves that maybe a little bit too much credit on a few serves. But all in all, these are big matches. These are really, really important matches for the growth of our team. This is a really good weekend for us to get into the ring of what it feels like to be in these back-to-back series. So we'll grow from it. Of course, we would like to grow from the win, but we'll grow from it and we'll be better next week.
Alan, obviously their middle had a big night. There's got to be a frustrating feeling as a coach, I'm sure, as that's sort of going on. But what are you guys doing? What are you talking about with your coaches? What adjustments are you guys trying to make to get out of that pattern?
Yeah, it's probably 100% on me on some of the calls that we made and some of the things we tried to do. Probably should have tried to get on them a little bit earlier in the match with a couple of different schemes, but. The thing is that we were doing so good in some of the other areas, but we got on, 19 for them and got on some of their guys that have been carrying them the last couple of nights or last couple of weeks. But there were some things we could have done from a serving standpoint and definitely from help from a blocking standpoint and letting our middles free up a little bit. And that's on me. I make those calls ultimately, and it was probably a little bit too little, too late on my side.
Mason, can you tell me, you and the team out there, what did you see? What was the main difference between Ohio State's offense and Penn State's offense that made it a little more difficult tonight?
I would just say it started with Penn State serving in general. That was the overall theme that we kept talking about. We knew they were going to come in with a response from a loss last night, and that was their game plan. I mean, we have great pins, great middles. We have a lot of pieces, so if they can get us on the end line, then I feel like that's the only way that they can kind of get on us in that way. And they ripped and didn't miss a lot, and they just kept that pressure on us.
Or a question for Coach Knipe. The fourth set looked like it was back and forth as it was just a tug of war, and you looked like you all were going to make a comeback and push it to a deuce game. What do you think your team could have done better to try to take the match and not have a fifth set?
Well, when you get to men's volleyball tends to be kind of a tie when you get to 20 all, and we pride ourselves in being really composed, and it comes down to executing late. And bottom line is we didn't execute. We had a couple of opportunities to turn some digs into points that we didn't, and that's whether it's the dig, whether it's the set, whether it's the swing, whether it's legs not underneath us. It doesn't really matter. We didn't convert at the end of the fourth set, but we did get ourselves back to 24-23. So the fight was there. And, if you look at the first set, we did a nice job of executing late because that game was the same way. Eight ties in set one, 13 ties in set four. That's good, big-time volleyball, and you're going to grow from it. You feel the stress. You feel the anxiety. You learn how to go back and serve in those moments. I think that serving's been one of the best things we've done, and even though our errors weren't ridiculously bad by any stretch of the imagination. I certainly don't think we were freed up to hit our serves the way we have been maybe earlier in the match, maybe the last couple of matches. And I'm big on our guys of trusting their toss and trusting their routine, and I don't think we were really freed up to do that. So maybe that was something I could have probably done, is free them up a little bit more, give them a little bit more rope to make some errors and kind of get themselves going and pull them off the net and get some easy points. And that, because that when a team's scoring points on the other side and with their serve and putting so much pressure on you, it's good for your block and defense to take some pressure off of your offense from dealing with that onslaught. In other words, to return the blow and pull them off the net, not make things easy. I thought, like I said, serving-wise, the numbers are going to look really, really good. And our numbers have been great all year. But there was some times late in the fourth set, or from the middle to the end of the fourth set and throughout the fifth set, that it was way too comfortable for them.
Coach, I have a question for you. Going back-to-back games, 2 really big ones, and then moving forward, you have USC and UCLA on the radar. What's the message you can give to the team from playing, 2 great opponents, 2 really important big matchups?
The ones we just finished or the ones we're getting ready for?
The ones you just finished.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
We scheduled like we did. The message is that we're trying to play the best volleyball we possibly can. Volleyball pretty much took a hiatus for the last year and a half, and big time for us. No fall, no training, didn't get back until February. We need to be in these moments. We need to be in the thick of it. We need to go 5. We need to play back-to-back. We need to play big teams. And that's why I scheduled like I did. Last year was so crazy, almost like it didn't even happen for most teams. And those are experiences that you build on, and we don't have a whole lot of those. And so we created a schedule that will hopefully give us as many opportunities as we can to grow and get ready for what we would like to be in at the end of the season. So the message is, embrace the moment. Take what we can from the loss, the good, and also zero in on the things that we could have been better at, focus in on those in practice, and apply them next Friday night. That's the way we go about our business all the time. If we had have won that, we would have felt happier about it if we had won that, of course. That doesn't mean the match would have been clean. If we had won that, if we had won that in fifth set, there was a lot of up and down. So the only way to get ready to play in matches that felt like at times last night and at times tonight are to actually just put your feet in the ring and be in the moment. And we're going to be a lot better because of these matches this weekend. And hopefully we can play even better next weekend.
I was going to ask you about schedule.
Yep.
This is a question for Alan. They only had 7 blocks on the night. What can you say about your pin hitters and how they were able to penetrate their blocks for the most part of this match?
Yeah, we almost doubled their blocks. We blocked really well right out of the gate. I think we had 6 or 7 in the first set, and then maybe it kind of cooled down a little bit. But what it says is that offensively, our guys did a really good job under the circumstances. When a team only had, I think they got 2 or 3 in the fifth set. But it was more of, we pride ourselves on being able to be in a medium system offense, meaning the pass doesn't have to be perfect because teams are ripping their serves. And if we pass a little bit off the net, we can keep more guys involved. You look at the stats, you look at the numbers right now, and we were just pretty much riding our pins tonight. And that's not necessarily what we want to do. We need to be better at that. And that's on me and on getting these guys prepared to have a little bit more balance. Our motto is, we'll set anybody at any time, at any moment. And it didn't feel like that a lot tonight.
All right, and this is a question for either Alan or Mason. Next up is USC, as they've kind of had a little bit of a roller coaster ride. They went 5 with UC Irvine, and they also have UC San Diego on Wednesday. What's it going to take to cool off a hot Trojans team and get back in the win column?
Yeah, complete volleyball. Building from the good of this match, learning from the bad of this match. But I think Mike was going to ask about scheduling. This schedule is on purpose, and this schedule is for growth. We want to win every set. We want to win every match. But we're trying to be the best volleyball team we're capable by the end of the season. And there's going to be some ups and some downs along the way. There's some guys out there with not a tremendous amount of experience, but they're going to learn, and they're incredibly invested in what we're doing, and they are training really, really hard. The key will be that we can apply the lessons learned into our training and have it be visible in our competition next Friday night. Not everything, some of it. And repeat that process throughout the season. And that's my job, because the effort is there, the attention to detail is there. And sometimes you play a team that played really, really well, a well-coached team with a lot of guys that have been around for a couple of years, redshirted years, COVID years, a lot of good arms on that team. They have some pride, and they played like that tonight with their back against the wall, which was great for us. So what's it going to take in a nutshell? We have to play better volleyball under duress for longer periods of time and execute in big moments, which we've done a great job this season so far, and with very little lead up to the year.
Mason, you're one of the upperclassmen now. What do you tell your younger teammates in tough games like this?
As a sophomore, by the way.
As a sophomore, yes, thanks to the COVID year.
Yeah, thanks, COVID year. It's everything that Coach Knipe is basically repeating. And a big thing is just no stress. Weathering the storm was kind of the key tonight. The first time we kind of had to go through a lot of service pressure on the other side, and just knowing that that's what we're going to have to deal with. And again, like he said, we didn't get much volleyball last season. So as a sophomore, this is huge for me and huge for us as a team, a young team. But we can grow and continue to learn from these games, especially early on in the season.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.